What's up, everybody? Super Loud Man here, coming at you with a brand new Valorant video. And in this video, we got a lot of crazy things to talk about. First off, we gotta talk about a brand new rank system in patch 2.0 that is going to fundamentally change the way you play ranked. And honestly, it really fixes a lot of the problems that people have been having with rank. So we're gonna break all that down and tell you all the information you need to know. And we gotta talk about brand new changes to the Immortal rank, ranked leaderboards, and Radiant in general. Plus, there's a list of more things to talk about, like new potential game modes, how many maps we're gonna get this year, running and gunning nerfs, classic nerfs, split changes. I mean, there's just so many things to talk about in this video. So let's break it all down. But slide on over to the GameBleep website if you want to set yourself up for success in this brand new meta, in this brand new episode. We got everything you could possibly need on the GameBleep website. So do yourself a favor, go check it out in the links down below. But without further ado, let's jump into the video. So first off, let's talk about the brand new rank system. We've been asking for one for a while, and a lot of people have been frustrated with the previous rank system. But now we get a new rank system that lets us know our exact number elo and how much we're going up and down by each game, as well as safeguards in place to prevent us from going on giant loss streaks where we derank many times in a row. So every time you get into a new rank, you need to go from the start of that rank, which is normally 0, but you're gonna start at 10 rank minimum, and then you're gonna climb from there and try to get 100. Once you break past 100, you will automatically rank up into the next rank. Now, you're gonna be able to see every single time and how much you gain by, but the minimum you can lose or gain by is gonna be 10, but the maximum you can gain by is 50, so hypothetically, it's possible to rank through an entire rank in just 2 games if you get the max both times, 50 and 50, but the max you lose is only 30, which means you can hypothetically have really high games and get 50 and then lose 30, but still overall you're climbing. Now, that being said, you can still gain when you're drawing, but the max gain is only 20, but this will not apply to Immortal Plus because this is really taking your individual performance into account, and they don't do that in Immortal Plus games. Now, that being said, if you actually D-rank from a rank, you won't go under 80 on that skill tier after you lose a game at 0, and this is something that's important for you to understand. If you lose a game, you're gonna have to go to the 0 rank, and you will not automatically demote. You have to actually lose another game when you're at 0. So when you rank up to a new rank and you get 10 in that rank, you have a 2-loss window. So it doesn't matter what happens, you are guaranteed to at least stay in that rank for 2 games at the very minimum. So a lot of you that have had games where you go up and down a rank over and over again, that will no longer happen under this system. And you'll be seeing exactly how it happens, why it happens, and you will also have multiple chances to basically pull yourself back up. Now, honestly, this is gonna fix a lot of the frustrations with ranked in general. You're gonna see exactly how much you're being increased by, exactly how much you're being decreased by, and you're gonna get a lot of chances to honestly not derank if you're playing even half decent in your current tier. We've been asking for this for a long time, and I think it's gonna be an amazing system, but as usual, let me know what you think about it in the comments down below. Now, moving on to other ranked news, Immortal is now gonna be allegedly 1 rank, which means there's no Immortal 1, 2, and 3. It's just gonna be Immortal, but the top 500 of Immortal is gonna be considered Radiant, and as such, there's gonna be a brand new leaderboard that you can look at and see, and you are going to be on there if you're in Immortal or above Immortal. You will be somewhere along the leaderboard, and of course, top 500 will be highlighted as the Radiant players. Now, that being said, you have to be prepared for what it's going to be like when people place in their ranks this next season, because the max rank you can place is actually Plat 3, but if you actually are ranked higher, you're going to rank up much faster, but if you aren't, then you're just going to stay around in that area. But you gotta expect a crazy shit show, for lack of a better term. Well, I do think these rank changes are going to be amazing in the long term, and everything's going to be fantastic for the initial steps while they put people where they belong and things are kind of moving like crazy. Expect a lot of randomness where every once in a while you're going to get a player that really doesn't belong in your rank, either above or below, and it's going to be a lot of randomness, but you got to remember over the course of enough time and once the system gets fleshed out and ironed out and hardened into the player base, it's going to be a lot better. But like I said, if you do not want to have to deal with any of that, maybe you might want to wait a little while before you start playing ranked, if I'm being honest, and maybe go grind an ult so you can get that free Yoru agent and, you know, grind him and maybe have an ult account where you can practice that agent. I don't know, maybe something like that. Now, on top of this, Immortal Plus is going to be only solo and duo, so no more stacking trios, quads, or anything like that in Immortal. And all of this is going to be out either today or tomorrow, depending on when you're watching this. So look out for it in the brand new patch 2.0. Now, there's a lot of other really big things that we got to talk about that Riot has answered in a really big question and answer showcase that they went through today, where they broke everything down and we get to kind of know what they're working on, what's about to come out, and what's going to come out in the future. So first off, they are working on new game modes, but they're keeping it under wraps. So while we won't see these things soon, we most likely will see them at some point, maybe in this episode. So at the very least, I'm hopeful. And they are planning to have a new map sometime in this episode released early, and they also plan to have 7 maps at least before the end of the year. So we are looking at least 2 maps, most likely, maybe 3. We'll have to wait and see on that one. Now, unfortunately, the running and gunning nerfs are still being worked on. They are not releasing in this episode like everyone thought and hoped for, which kind of makes me a little bit salty. But hopefully with this extra time, they really nailed the movement, the shooting, and prevent running and gunning without making the gunplay feel absolutely terrible, which is one of the big things that they were worried about. They didn't want to change the running and gunning aspect of the game because they stated that one misstep could all of a sudden make the game feel completely terrible to play and actually unplayable. So they're taking their time here, which I can respect. I really just hope that they get this through, hopefully in the next patch, if possible. Please, please, Riot. Now, while we already talked about the big Brimstone buffs and Omen nerfs, which I'm not going to go into too hard in this video because we already went through that in a previous video, we did also talk about the classic pistol nerfs, where subsequent fires in a row became progressively more inaccurate. Well, on top of that, there is actually a jump fire inaccuracy added onto that, even more so in this patch. So maybe the classic pistol is more nerfed than we initially thought, but is it enough? I definitely want to know your opinion about that in the comments down below. Now, the next thing that they talked about that is coming soon is there's going to be really big Split changes. And as we know, Split is one of the most divisive maps, specifically because its defensive side has such an overwhelming pro win rate percentage than its attacking side. And I think that's probably what they're going to be addressing on specifically Split, but we're going to have to wait and see exactly how much they change the map by. I'm interested for sure, but I do think that the map is pretty close to being kind of balanced. And maybe with Yoru added into the game, which is really good against the Sentinel characters that really shine on the map Split, maybe he can actually shift the power into the attacker side. Of course, we'll have to wait and see on that one. The last thing that we got to talk about is about agent skins, and it was a question that was asked to the Valorant devs, and I'm just gonna play the clip for you, and then we're gonna talk about it after the fact. Roll it.
Will we see skins for agents, not just guns, in the future, near future, or ever? Can you give us an answer to that?
Near future, no. I'll just say that.
So no 2021, no agent skins.
No concrete date, but don't expect it anytime soon.
You heard it there. No agent skins for at least the foreseeable future. Thank you, Sean and Preety. I cannot wait to open my wallet and give you more of my money.
So basically for 2021, we are not expecting to see any agent skins, and personally, I'm kind of happy about it. I don't really think that agent skins have any place in Valorant at all. When you need to actually be able to identify a character by their look, changing their looks can have a lot of cascading effects on the competitive integrity of the game, and personally, I wouldn't really want it. I like the idea of having specifically ability skins. I thought that was cool, and then just having different maybe weapon type skins, or maybe getting a little bit more creative with something like finishers or sprays, like have a really cool spray that like has an animated spray that pops up 3D or something like that after you win a round. I mean, there's tons of different ways that Riot can monetize the game in a really cool way that I think that we would be willing to spend money on without affecting the competitive integrity of the game. But the way he answered that question meant that it isn't completely off the table, and I do think that Riot know that they would make a ton of freaking money with agent skins, but they are kind of torn, right? Between that competitive integrity and that giant stack of cash. Who knew the first moral or ethical dilemma of 2021 would be about Valor, am I right? But go to the Gameblade website in the links down below for everything that you need to dominate patch 2.0 and beyond, and set yourself up to dominate this new competitive meta, competitive ranked mode, and we got everything you possibly can need. So go check it out in the links down below. But I hope you enjoyed the video. Thanks so much for coming by. That's all I got for you today. I love your faces, and I'll see you tomorrow.